Hey, I'm coming to you with another YouTube. I'm doing a fancy fold card today. That's right, fancy fold. It's a fancy fold circle card. So this is me, Connie Kinchin, Pink Scrappy Girl, .stampinup.net. Look for me. And we are going to feature Otterly Amazing. If you haven't seen this set, it is an online exclusive set, and you can put in Otterly Amazing. They have stamps, and they're the polymer stamps, which are the clear ones, and then they also have die cuts. So these are the die cuts over here. They're a mess, but some of them are on my table. But we're using Otterly Amazing dies and stamp set today. So if you haven't seen them, you can look for them on the online exclusive. You know, if you're unfamiliar with the Stampin' Up site, they're always dropping new products on online exclusives and clearance. Sometimes I have customers call me and say, "You didn't tell me such and such was on clearance." Well, I didn't know it. By the time I get to it, it might be gone. So always check out the online exclusives and the clearance. So let's get started. We are going to start with, the card is going to be an A2 size. So I cut my card. It's just a standard 5.5 by 4.25 size card. And I cut a hole in the middle. Well, not in the middle. Let me restate that. It's not in the middle. I took a piece of regular cardstock and I cut it 5.25 by 4. I laid it on top of my card base and I put my die where I wanted the circle. So you are going to cut your 3-inch circle out of your card front and the front of the base. So you're going to run it through that die machine like this, flat. So this is a standard A2 size card, and you can use any size card you want to. This is what I'm featuring here. So all my measurements are for an A2 size card. So you run it through the die machine, you cut out your circle. On this one, I ran it through the embossing machine, and I used Soft Waves. This is the item number, and it's featured in the mini catalog till April of 25. The other example I'm going to show to you, I did not run it through the embossing machine. So here you go. You've ran it through the embossing machine and you cut out your white and your base. Then you're going to run just the white through the embossing machine and emboss it if you want to. If not, continue on. Skip this part. So you have your circle. Now you have a gray circle and a white circle. This is your gray circle, and then you have your white circle that's going to fit right into it. You're going to embellish it. So you can embellish it how you want right now, or you can wait. So this is one of the otters that was on the paper pack. And yes, there's a paper pack, and I cut it up. So these are some of the dies. This is the bubbles that are in that stamp set and the die set. So I'm going to set that to the side. You can do that step now, or you can do it later. So we have the A2 size card base and the white, and we ran it through the die machine, and now we ran just the white through the embossing if you want to. The next step that you're going to do is you're going to take your middle and you're going to cut a piece of paper, whatever color. I used white. And you're going to cut a 5 by 8 piece. That's a cardstock 5 by 8. And on that 5 by 8 sheet, you're going to score it. You're going to score it at 2.5, 4.5, and 6. So a 5 by 8 piece scored 2.5, 4.5, and 6. And you're going to take your card base back over here, and you're going to fold it like this. And the way I thought it would be easiest is if you make it stand up. So let me show you. Where this is like this, you're going to make it stand up. See that? Maybe I can show you like that. So you have the bigger piece, and it's going to make just a little piece like that. Got that? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 pieces of any printed paper. I use printed, but you don't have to. I use the printed. This came with the Otterly Amazing. And you are going to take the 2 folds that you scored it, the 2.5, the 4.5, and the 6. You're going to cut 2 pieces of paper, 1 1/4 by 4 3/4. That's this one. And 1 3/4 by 4 3/4. And I'm using the green glue. To me, when you're doing like this, sometimes the glue is just a little easier. So you're going to take the narrow piece and put it in that narrow opening. And then you're going to take the bigger piece, the 1 3/4 by 4 1/4 with your green glue, or whatever adhesive you prefer, but I feel that making this, the green glue, was a little easier. And you're going to center it in that scoring. See how I did that? So you have this piece, this one, this one, this one. To me, it was easier, and it's trial and error. Y'all know when y'all are do fancy fold cards, it's trial and error. So for me, it was easier for me to put the card. I'm going to move my measurements. For me, it was easier to make it stand up like this. Fold it down. Open it and glue this part. See that X I put on there? I'm gluing this part. So you're gluing that biggest section to the back. And for me, it was just easier to do it like this. Trial and error though. So here you go. You got your little stand-up TP part. And you're going to fold it like this. And then put your pieces in. Just like that. And then fold it down. See how I folded that down and just let it dry a minute? So when you fold it up, you know, this piece is not done yet, and that's on purpose. So there we go. So, got that? If you need to stop the video, I understand. Okay, now we're going to take this piece that we've done, and this has to be done before you do this next step. So you have this piece, and this piece, and this piece. You are going to glue this section right here. So you're going to only glue this half of the section. You're going to fold it down. Just like this. Once you folded it down, you're going to take your green glue and only glue on the printed paper side or cardstock side, not anywhere else. You're only going to glue basically half a circle. So here we go. And it's going to fit right in that circle. And when you lift it, oops, sorry. I didn't let it stay there long enough. Using the glue, I'm used to when I use adhesive. My little hello is off, so let me adjust that a little bit. There you go. So there you go. And when you open it, it is only going to adhere to that side. See how I got that? See how that looks? So when you lay it flat, adjust your, get it down, and then when you open it, it opens like this. Okay, see that? Closed, open, closed, open. All right, now on that Otterly Amazing paper pack, they had some little otters. So what I did is I fussy cut them for the bottom. I'm using I call them pop-up dots. I don't know what Stampin' Up calls them, but 3D dots. I'm going to put those right here. And I have my little family. And then on the inside, I feel that this is like a masculine card. That's what I'm going to use it for. And I'm going to take my Early Espresso ink and the stamp set that says, upside down, you're utterly amazing. And I'm going to take that. I got a piece of paper on my stamp. Got to get that off. It'll mess up my image. I've done too much work. So we got utterly amazing. And I'm going to put that right there. And I used Early Espresso. I think it kind of worked well with this. Then you may have, when you see the paper pack, you'll understand some of the little pieces they have. Look how cute. Can you see that? See that little otter? They also have these. That's kind of big for down there. So I think I'm going to choose a smaller image. And, you know, we all like thin cuts, but sometimes you just have to fussy cut a little bit. I don't understand why they call it fussy cutting. And when I fussy cut, I move my paper and my scissors together. There might be a better mousetrap, but for me, when I'm doing my fussy cutting, I tend to get a little close. So sometimes I have to go back. Do you have to go back sometimes? So anyway, I'm going to put my little otter right there. It worked best. And I'm going to use the green glue. The green glue is forgiving, so if you want to adjust it. Do you use tweezers when you create? I'll put my little otter right there. You don't have to. You can put it wherever. And then this little guy, I just thought he was cute. So I hate not to use him. And I have plenty of pieces. So I'm going to use the green glue again on the little die. And I like that Stampin' Up! Has the dies and the paper. And you can just cut it directly out of the paper. The only stamping I used was the sentiments. So let me show you another one that I created. So this was the one I created with you. Oops, let me get my fussy cut. This was another one I used. On this one, I used a green. I think it's called garden green. It's a dark green. I used the little embellishments in the back. These are all thin cuts. And I used a little bubbles for water. I did not emboss the front of this because I wanted you to see. And then this is another piece of the paper. It's got the little, I guess that's seaweed with the little fish going through it. And then I did that little otter right there. So this is using the stamp set and thin cut from Otterly Amazing and the dies. And this was a fancy fold circle card. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye.